For more on the NBA slate for Saturday and how to make money off of it, we now welcome in wagering analyst Tim Doyle, who is in Los Angeles with our team covering Super Bowl 56 outside SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Tim, we're talking round ball, though, here. And let's start with the Cavs and the Sixers. The line sitting at 4.5 to the host. I thought it would actually be a little bit tighter. The total sitting at just over 200. How are you attacking this line in that total?
Yeah, this is two teams that have had outstanding years. I mean, the Cavs are the best story in the NBA. No one expected this. And, man, I bet against them last night. They were down 9 in the fourth quarter. They were 6.5-point favorite, and they won by 7. How does that happen? How are you down 9? You're laying 6.5, and then you end up covering. But anyway, both these teams on the second half are back-to-back. Philadelphia was awful in the first half against OKC. And what did they do? They flipped the switch in the second half, held the Thunder to only 20 third-quarter points, and they rolled in that spot. I believe with the addition of James Harden, 76ers are going to play the Bucks to go to the NBA championship. It's elevated them to that sort of level. Now, he's not going to be out there tonight, but Embiid's playing at an MVP level. He's basically unstoppable. He's going to have his hands full because one thing about the Cavs, they have a ton of big guys, whether it's Allen or Markkanen or Mobley that they're going to throw at Embiid. You know he's going to take this game personal. I'm going to lay the points in this spot because Philly is at home, and I think Cleveland's being a bit overvalued. I think the line is right, but I like 76ers.
The team that dealt Harden to the Sixers and is trying to get Simmons ready to go is next. We're talking about the Nets taking on the Heat. Nets riding a 10-game losing streak, Tim. We've hit double digits with this team, and now they have to face the top team in the Eastern Conference, standing as 10.5-point dogs. What do you like here?
You know what's happening right now to the Nets? It's like at the end of Wedding Crashers when Owen Wilson is going to weddings by himself and he's like falling into the drums and it's like an absolute disaster. Like, the worst thing for a relationship when things go sour is when one of the persons decides to head to South Beach for the weekend. It's like you know bad decisions are going to ensue. I think the Nets are going to have the old SBF, that's called the South Beach flu, meaning maybe they enjoyed themselves a little bit too much. And as for the Heat, they're finally getting healthy, and this is like the perfect opportunity to send a message that Tim picks the Bucks and 76ers. Like, no. We're still one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. And nothing is better is when you get an opponent who's supposed to be the best team in the East, that's still the favorite in the East, and you got a chance to pound them. You're never supposed to lay this many points in an NBA game unless you think they could win by 30. I think he could win by 30 in this spot, so I'll go with the favorite.
Okay, Tim, I want to follow up with you, though, too, about Harden and Simmons. I mean, what are your expectations in terms of them with their new teams?
Yeah. I think Ben Simmons is the best defender in the NBA. He's an amazing glue guy. He can't make an elbow jump shot. So is he able to play alongside of Durant and find him and make him better? I think he's such an amazing talent. I think if Ben Simmons becomes just a capable shooter, I think one day he could win the MVP. I'm really that high on him because his basketball IQ is off the charts. But talk about pettiness, right? He didn't want to play. He's got his phone in his pocket when he goes to practice, and then Harden has the hamstring injury. So, both these guys got what they ultimately wanted. I think Harden's one of the best players offensively in the history of the NBA. So now you pair him with Embiid, they're going to have to learn how to dance with one another. Just like Jeremy, if you and I went out there on the dance floor, I like the face-to-face dance. Not sure if you like to back it up, but I think they will start to figure it out as the season wears on. I think both these teams got what they wanted. They got guys that are eventually going to be outstanding players for them.
All right, let's talk about Golden State. They sit a few games back of Phoenix. I'm not going anywhere near the dance floor with you, Tim. Golden State sit a few games back of Phoenix in that chase for the Western Conference title. Welcoming LeBron and the Lake show. Someone breaking out of a 2-game losing skid here, Tim. Warriors favored by 7, the total at an even 224. Where are you putting your money?
You know, it's interesting. These two teams played on opening night, and I went back and watched some of that film, and the Lakers were 3.5-point favorite. I mean, how funny is that? The Lakers were favored over the Warriors on opening night. But yes, the last couple of games for Golden State, it's been absolutely disgusting. They lost to the Knicks, and then against the Jazz, they only scored 85 points. So, I mean, what a perfect opportunity to go out there and get 130 points. I'm going to go Warriors team total over in this spot. Lakers are having a hard time defending anybody here, and I think this is a game that Golden State sees 125. They may even see 130. So nothing is better, like I said, with the Heat going to be able to put it down on the Nets. Nothing is better as kicking a team when they're down in the Lakers right now. If you are holding futures bets for the Lakers, okay? I'll give you 1% of the bet, and I'll kick you in the shin because just rip those up right now. Lakers are not winning the NBA championship. They're barely hanging on for a playoff spot. It's been a disaster here, and a guy like Steph Curry, when he sees a team that's down, he's got that killer mentality. I think the Warriors are going to go out there and score a bunch of points in this spot. Give me over team total Golden State.
Yeah, 115.5 like in the over there. And lastly, Tim, give us that top NBA wager for Saturday.
You know, I love the Pelicans. You know, I can't believe that whole sentence came out of my mouth. I love the Pelicans, okay? But they get the San Antonio Spurs on the second half of a back-to-back, which is always important. The Spurs played great last night. Shot over 50% from the field, shot over 50% from three. They knocked off Atlanta. And now this is the second game with C.J. McCollum, who was awful in his debut. He was 6 of 21, 2 of 10 from three. But you know what he's doing with his teammates? Jeremy's learned how to dance. You know what I mean? Like, I like to throw a little snap in there once in a while. Maybe I bite my lip when I'm out there dancing. He's going to be a fantastic fit. And when you look at the starting lineup now for the Pelicans, they actually have a real team. Well, let's not forget, Zion was supposed to be playing this year, but he can't put down the old knife and fork, and he can't get himself in shape. So you look at whether it's Jones or Valanciunas or Ingram and McCollum, like, they have a real team right now. So they're making a push. This is a very important game. Actually, New Orleans and San Antonio are battling to see who's going to get into the playoffs, one of those last few spots now that the NBA playoffs has opened up. So the Pelicans, it's simple. The more you bet, the more you win.
Great stuff, Tim. Wagering analyst Tim Doyle with us for a good portion of the show here, but giving us his best NBA picks for this segment as we get set for another busy Saturday. Have fun outside of SoFi there, Tim. Let's recap what he likes for the 11-game NBA slate. He likes the 76ers as they take on the Cavaliers. The 4-point spread there between those two, the total sitting at 207 and a hook. Take the Heat over the Nets. Maybe a little SBF for the Nets, a little South Beach flu. Heat favored by 10.5 there as they sit atop the East and looking to stay there. And Lakers at the Warriors. Tim likes Golden State over their team total of 115.5. They go in as 7-point favorites.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.